Yeah, let me load the save file at the beginning of the game. I'll give one.
Okay.
Ooh. Shut that down. There we go. Okay, if I'm live, I guess we're ready to go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Infamous First Light, everyone. Welcome to Seattle. I don't live in Seattle, but I live really close to Seattle, about a 2-hour drive away, and I've been to the city hundreds of times for ball games and stuff, and I'll tell you, they weren't able to include a whole lot of real-life landmarks, but other than that, the developers really nailed the open-world feel of Seattle for this game. But if you don't know the Infamous series, we play as super-powered individuals called conduits, who have the ability to manipulate and weaponize matter. Fetch's dominion is over neon gas, which also gives her the ability of super speed. Very appropriate for a speedrun. So what I'm doing here is marathon safety. Going up to the 3rd floor of this parking garage to hide. Our first objective is to hide from the cops who had gathered around our boat on the dock with our brother as we're trying to get out of town. We're both like petty criminals or something. There's no directed objective here. It only is to hide from the police, the chopper, the cars on the ground. This parking garage is the closest place to the spawn point to do that. And if you're on the 3rd floor, it's maybe a 1 in 100 chance that they'll find you. It does make the subsequent phone call from Brent, the brother, spawn in a little bit slower, but there it is, so it's absolutely fine. It makes spawn in a second or two slower. If you go to the 2nd floor, you can get it to spawn in faster, but logically, since that's closer to the ground level, they are more likely to find you. It's about 1 in 10 rather than 1 in 100, so we'll do it the safe way for the marathon. Oh, and by the way, the elephant in the room, you've surely noticed that the game is running in Italian. There is a reason for that. It's neither for the lulz nor the maymays. There's an example of it right here, in fact. You'll notice we got to this door as the phone call ended. If I were running this in English, there would be another 4 or 5 seconds of dialogue before the phone call ended, and I could try to open the door. That is the reason for the language change, faster phone calls. Speed tech here, we want to kill these guys with bolts from distance. The game is actually telling us to run toward them and use melee against them. Who doesn't love maymays? But yes, that's not the reason. If you run towards those 3 guys at that end of the penthouse apartment, 2 more will spawn behind you. So by taking them out from range, we can keep those 2 enemies from spawning in. Hey Katsuma, good to see you here. And thank you, Fire Falcons. Alright. So on the off chance you don't speak Italian, I will try to hit the major story points throughout the run. Right now, Fetch and Brent are deciding to just cut their losses and leave town. We have a tiny little skip here. If we go into the water, we get a respawn on dry land, and it just happens to be really close to where we're running. This water warp replaced a really complicated strat where we went around, jumped off of the jumped off of the street level and had to float and air dash, even though we don't have air dash yet, to get to the docks. It looked really cool when it worked. It was really hard to do. This one is easier, and it's faster anyway. So, win-win situation.
Quando sentivo di perdere il controllo, mi concentravo su Brand. Era l'unico modo per mantenere la calma. Aggrapparsi a quel ricordo mi faceva.
So anytime you have a cutscene in this game that's followed by another cutscene, but not a cutscene followed by a cutscene followed by a cutscene, you get an autosave at the beginning of the second cutscene, not immediately when the first one starts, but close enough to when the first one starts that it's actually faster to quit out of the game and reload it than sit through the cutscene. This is PS4 Pro with solid state drive. It's faster even if you're on a stock PS4 with a regular hard drive. And not by a little bit. It saves close to a minute over the course of the run.
Quelle fughe dalla realtà mi avevano cambiato. Mi sono svegliata con nuovi poteri, come se il corpo volesse combattere, ma la mente invece...
So here, Fetch is incarcerated within Curtain K Prison, a conduit sanctuary. That's what Curtain K Station is the name of the place. It's actually an anagram for Conduit Sanctuary. If you've played inFAMOUS Second Son, you know who this is. Augustine, the leader of the DUP. She has a less overtly antagonistic role in this game, but her motivations are still a little suspect. She's trying to train Fetch to be the ultimate soldier or something. It's briefly mentioned in Second Son.
No, Miss Walker. Sei una superstite.
So this is the first of the 3 challenge arenas. This is Alpha. You can do these arenas outside the story. They're really, as far as I'm aware, the game's attempt to give itself some replay value. For me, speedrunning is replay value. But you do have to get introduced to them in the story. Take those 2 out. You want to keep focus on here so it doesn't dilate time a second time when you have to shoot. You want to move the reticle just far enough that Fetch changes shooting hands, and then just back ever so slightly, and you'll be right on top of the weak point for the leftmost statue.
Non male, non benissimo, ma sei appena all'inizio. Preferiresti dei bersagli conosciuti?
One thing I think is really cool, that you would never really notice unless you look for it, Fetch's mouth actually moves when she talks. That's some serious attention to detail. Forza, proteggilo. And you don't actually want to hit L2 to aim your shot there until you have to, because if you do it ahead of time, you're going to aim like way up here. It's very annoying. So in Alpha Arena, we have to save 10 hostages. The first 3 are always in the same place, so I can run right to them. Di una morte atroce. That went well. Has force menuing here. The game will literally force you into this menuing, but you can do it beforehand if you press the start button as soon as you see the SP logo appear on screen. So Augustine wants us to use Photon Jump here, the requisite first upgrade we purchased. It's actually faster not to. Luckily, that requisite first upgrade is actually a useful one. It's one you would want even if you didn't have to get it. So you want to leave that first hostage uncollected it will make the later ones where... Wow, that's a weird spawn. These guys never spawn in over here. But it will make the later hostages spawn in more or less immediately. Sometimes Augustine will have a little trash talk before they spawn in. That's just bad RNG if that happens. Wave spawns are guaranteed to be near you, but only near you on the horizontal plane. Vertical plane, they could be above or below you. So, there's... Before we had this strat of leaving one of the hostages uncollected, I would always go to the very top of the area when a wave was about to spawn in, just because that would mean I knew it would be below me, which is obviously easier to get to than above. Don't really have time to do that anymore with these close to instantaneous spawns. Not that I'm complaining, this is definitely faster, but definitely was something I liked about doing it the old way. See, it's very close to me. And then, oop, you're not dead, you need to be dead. And then you're just one, yep. That's not a great spawn. Ah, fuck. There we go.
Everybody gets one.
Huh?
Let's make sure not to drop any F-bombs.
Oh, goodness, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that. Oh, now I'm, like, completely embarrassed. Oh, you need to die as well. Alright, so that's all 10. We can go back and collect the first one now, and that'll advance us forward. There's some of the Augustine trash talk. She doesn't always say that. It's especially mocking in the English version. She's like, oh, a victory! And you just want to slap her. Batterly. That's the audio cue, a little more forced menuing. And now we are back to the flashback in Seattle.
Basta per ora. Siediti. Vorrei che riprendessi il racconto di quanto accaduto a Seattle. Dopo una notte passata alla ricerca di mio fratello, sono tornata a ciò che restava della nostra barca. È lì che l'ho incontrato. Anche lui c'entrava bene.
So this is Shane. We'll get to know Shane.
If you don't mind, can I actually plug some of the donation incentives? We don't have any donations, but I like to plug the incentives.
Yeah, this cutscene lasts for about a minute.
Okay. I just want to remind everybody we have some awesome donation incentives going on. We have one for later in the morning for Metal Gear Solid. You get to choose the ending. There's a segment where you are subject to be interrogated, and by resisting or submitting, you get to choose the Otacon or Meryl ending. That'll be really cool, so donate for that if you'd like to see it. It is a bid war. Neither one have any donations right now, so it's right now runner's choice. Later on tomorrow morning, we have Poke Park Wii Pikachu's Adventure. We have an incentive for the Pika percent. It is actually considered a meme category that makes the mini-game segment much harder. So if you want to see Deathline squirm just a little bit, see some memes, let's donate for that. The goal for that is $50.
Pika Pika!
Grazie. E se ti venisse in mente altro, chiamami sul telefono di Brenda.
Sì, certo, come vuoi, tesoro. Cerca soltanto di non farti male, ok?
Yeah, and he's kind of skeezing after her butt there. Timing on this is a little bit weird. We have to wait and then load warp. If we do it too fast, we get the sort of messed up pause screen that you get during a cutscene, where the only option is to unpause. You load warp here, it puts you like right underneath the goal you're supposed to be running at, which is this big neon sign. Again, even on a normal PS4 with a normal hard drive, doing it that way is faster. There's only one load warp that might be faster on SSD that is definitely not faster on hard drive. I will be doing it in this run because why not, and I will point it out to you when we get there. We have not firmly determined whether it's faster on SSD, and if it is, it's by maybe a second or two. I'm gonna go for a spawn manipulation here. I don't think I got it. Oh, I did get it! Alright. You're supposed to spawn on top of a water tower that's like way further away. There's actually 3 or 4 different spawn manipulations you can get there at the end of the requisite lumen collection. That one is the fastest. You may have heard her say, Devo andare. Okay, that was a little scary. I thought I might have missed the lumen there. Devo andare is the biggest example of Italian being faster. In English, she has a whole freaking paragraph there that she says before you can start the lumen race. And the strat for the lumen race, as demonstrated, is not to race the lumen. It's to get ahead of it and let it come to you. It's pretty consistent. So I'm gonna go for an in-game challenge here called Triple Takedown. That's not a good start. Yeah, not even close. Yeah. Triple Takedown requires you to kill 3 enemies with weak point kills within 1 focus. Missing it in a PB attempt is a reset. You get upgrade points from collecting the lumens, those red gems that are floating throughout the air, but you also get them from the challenges, like Triple Takedown. Had I gotten it there, I would have been able to buy my first upgrade, Air Dash, which really makes traversal around the city a ton faster. That's why I say missing it in a PB attempt is a reset. For the marathon, there's a backup, and even if I miss the backup, it doesn't irrevocably kill the run. If I miss the backup, I'll probably get it by accident sometime at some point in the run. I'm demonstrating the movement meta for the game, which is jump dashing. It's actually irrelevant if you don't have the air dash upgrade. So since I missed Triple Takedown, I need that one. Yeah, I should be hitting the marker for this mission only a second or two after the phone call ends. So, red split. There we go.
Facci! Il furgone è carico! Andiamo!
Okay, there it is. So that's air dash. We will make use of it in this segment. This segment is kind of a... This mission is kind of a combination auto-scroller protection mission. Every speedrunner's 2 favorite things. But we'll have some fun with this one. Trust me. You can kill these jerks. Ooh, am I gonna get the anime line? No, because... Ooh. Yay! I love it. I love getting that line. The world record holder, X Tsukuyomi, he hates that line. This is the backup for Triple Takedown. I may have even gotten Sting Like a Bee there, which is 5 enemies in one focus. Let's see. I did get Sting Like a Bee. That's pretty cool. So we break up the car blockade. Yeah, that line, if you weren't able to make sense of the Italian, if you kill all of the enemies that you first encounter by that little gazebo and by the rocket launcher, Shane says, "How'd you learn to fight like that?" And Fetch says, "I watched a lot of anime as a kid." You really don't want to do focus shots in the speedrun, which would guarantee getting the line, so it always just makes me smile whenever I do get it with unfocused shots. There's no karma system in this game like there is in the core titles in the Infamous series. So as you noticed, I did destroy a police car, which also helps fuel my singularity meter, which is the circle in the top left corner of the screen. Fetch's main superpower. These two trucks, you'll just need to take out one of them. Okay, that was a little on the close side, but you just take out one of them before they start driving forward. The other won't follow. So here's what I'm talking about with having a little fun with this auto-scroller. I like to call this the truck is lava.
Ok, torniamo in strada. Dovremmo essere al sicuro. Forse.
Questi idioti non si arrendono. Hai idee?
Ho un piano di fuga. Ma devo aspettare il momento giusto. Sei pronto con l'autobus? Ti vedo. Sto arrivando.
Un autobus.
So I recently did this run for AGDQ's Harvey Relief Done Quick event, and I actually failed this in that event. And I'm not going back for that, Lumen, because I'm a few ahead already from getting stung like a bee. It would be nice to get that one, but oh well. Hey, Brent, that's my cue to start running toward the next mission.
Me va benissimo.
Ah, ammettilo, in missione siamo una coppia fenomenale. Figurati come saremmo all'estero.
Arma i tuoi uomini e mandali a cercare Brent.
Alright, it worked. I love how little time we actually spend on the truck in that mission now.
Ehi, se ti dicessi che ho già sguizzagliato qualcuno a chiedere di tuo fratello, ti mando le loro posizioni. Forse a questo punto hanno raccolto qualche indizio.
Passi dal viscido al simpatico nel giro di una fase.
Nato e cresciuto in Texas.
So in this mission, we're supposed to go to indicated points throughout the city to take out Occurrens who are... That's the rival gang, the Occurrens. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Who are threatening Shane's loyal soldiers. We can win this fight with one shot if we take out that guy. Ugh, I faced the camera the wrong way. There's a really cool trick with this next one. Let's see if I can get it. Nope. Tried to shoot off a singularity right as I hit the marker for that, which resolves the fight instantly. It's not a huge time save. It actually only saves about 3 seconds, but when it works, it really looks cool. But that's okay. Alright, falling off the rooftops is a little bit less okay. Hey, would you not do that, please? Get up there. Oh my gosh, that was slow. Alright, so I'm just going to be shooting a bunch of things here. If you've got anything to say, this is not a bad time for it.
Shane, li ho tirati su di me, porta via i tuoi uomini.
Sì, signora.
Try to use unfocused shots here because it's faster unless you miss. They also make... Okay, this guy needs to get out from behind the tree. Alright. They also make larger detonations like that than do focus shots. There's an instance there of 3 guys. Alright, another phone call here. We will use this time to collect lumens. I missed a cloud there. I should be running faster than I am right now. There we go. That's better. Ah, for crying out loud. I can't believe I missed that one. That one is so easy to get. Come on. So another phone call. I definitely like how well we've optimized... That's another mislumen, god damn it. I like how well we've optimized the downtime in this run. There basically isn't any time... Well, any time where you completely stand around and do nothing. I am going to get back here a little bit before the phone call ends. Sorry. So, the mission here is to follow security camera feeds to find out where the current lieutenant they previously located has gone. We are sequence breaking this slightly. There are, I believe it's 6 cameras you can hit that show you parts of the story. We only have to hit 3 of them. And by skipping one and going back into the area where it would have been found later on, gives you a dialogue skip and spawns in the marker for the next mission a lot faster.
Aspetta, credo che abbia perso qualcosa. Ciao. Gianni, se avessi il telefono di quell'uomo, potresti tracciare i suoi spostamenti.
There's the dialogue skip.
Sembra quasi una scena del crimine.
Patch, brutte notizie. Gli aquilani hanno teso un'imboscata alla mia squadra di ricerca.
Quindi dovrei correre laggiù e sbaragliare quegli idioti in tutti, giusto?
Beh, sì.
Con immenso piacere. Dimmi solo dove andare. Ah, e Jenny è una grande. Chiamala, abbiamo una pista.
So coming up next is the most finicky skip in the game, terminal skip. I have done this run at dozens of online marathons. I have never once gotten it in an online marathon, and perhaps I should just mute my mic now for when I don't.
E quanti idioti in tutta parliamo?
Parecchi. Perché? Puoi trasformarti di nuovo nella morte in persona? Seminare scie di... Alcuni dei miei sono vicino a uno dei nostri furgoni. Tu proteggi. E loro ricambieranno il favore dopo che Jenny avrà violato quel telefono e ci dirà dov'è tuo fratello.
Alright, if I did this right, we'll hear Shane on the phone immediately after the singularity detonates. Nope. We really have no idea how this works. You just kind of shoot the singularity off and hope for the best. Worth pointing out that even my PB does not have this skip in it, so... Die, please. Jeepers. I almost got what I like to call the lesser terminal skip, which is clearing the area below you before the next sniper spawns in. That's how the game decides to advance you to the next area is that if there are no snipers alive. Little dialogue skip here by the boxes. We can advance the phone call and spawn the occurrence in that little bit much faster.
No, il DUP sta arrivando. Se finisco il limoncello di carta di legno, potrò più rivedere. Tu concentrati solo su te.
That's really slow. So we're waiting on some cars to pull in. Then we'll shoot off the singularity. It should clear the entire area. And yeah, this will be the cars. And it did clear the area.
Ho visto il gran finale del Ti provi gusto a torturare e massacrare.
I screwed this up in practice earlier tonight too, this Lumen collection.
Io e Brent non facciamo così.
Oh, certo.
It's really not as hard as I just made it look.
Come sei fatta davvero, giusto? La morte che è in te, il lato che adoro con tutto me stesso.
Se sono vivo è solo grazie a me. Quando la gente vede cosa so fare, comincia a dare di matto. Posso
Ah, come on.
Bene, tuo fratello è ancora in circolazione perché tieni a freno ora. Preparati a stringere i denti. Jenny ha violato il telefono.
I'm not in the right place.
dici sul serio?
Quando sei pronta, troviamo
I'm really not in the right place. Yeah, I'm way away from where I'm supposed to be.
Ash, sei tu? Io e i ragazzi siamo in fondo al parcheggio. Vieni.
So this is another combination auto-scroller protection escort mission. This one is a little more done straightforward. That we're just going to stay on the truck and shoot things.
Dietro di noi.
Oh, we actually do upgrade here. I picked up rapid fire, as you can see here. My main bolt is changed from a pistol to an SMG, and also extended cloudburst, which means I run at increased speed for a longer time when going through one of the neon clouds. That itself is not terribly useful. We get that upgrade mainly just to unlock the last one, which is double air dash, which is exceptionally useful. This last car is scripted to die on its own.
Ok. Jenny dice che ci sono delle persone rinchiuse nei container giù al molo. Non ci resta che ispezionarli tutti e sperare in un colpo di fortuna.
Dì ai tuoi di starmi dietro, non voglio nessuno a me, i miei bersagli.
Sicuro. Questa è una partita a scacchi.
That second lumen that I grabbed there is actually fairly hard to get.
Non c'è.
Oh, don't grab the... fairly hard to get without losing time, that is. It's in a very awkward position. Kinda same with this one. I actually don't remember if I'm even supposed to grab that one.
Sono libero. Credo. Qualcuno ha attaccato gli angolari. Io sto cercando di fuggire.
So Brent has run away from the occurrence. He is hiding at the monorail station. So
Stazione sud della
that is where we are heading. Reloaded here, we would just have to run to this point again. And surprise, surprise, Shane's a bad guy. Taking Brent hostage.
Non lo fare. No! Stavo di nuovo impazzendo. Dovevo trovare un ricordo, anche negativo. Qualcosa a cui aggrapparmi.
Alright, I wait a little extra long there to do the quit out, just so I'm positive it'll work. If you do it too fast, it won't give you the autosave at the beginning of the third cutscene, which would not be good for a marathon.
Sì, ma il tuo organismo è forte e ha sviluppato un nuovo potere che ti aiuta a reagire.
Sì, puoi vederlo. Avanti, fatti sotto con qualche scagnozzo.
So we've unlocked Stasis Blast. That is the power just demonstrated.
Massimo, Miss Walker.
Forse, mandane altri.
Now we have to do Stasis Blast and bolt them in their glowing weak points. This can be a little tricky because the weak points usually show up on the far side of the enemy's bodies. A little slow there, but it's fine. Okay, where is my menuing? Just wanted to get those.
Perché non me l'hai mostrato prima?
Forse perché non mi hai dato un motivo che mi spingesse a farlo. Mandami qualcuno del DUP e vedrai che i fuochi d'artificio.
Careful what you wish for.
Segui le linee gialle e resta al centro del corridoio.
This is Beta Arena. This is where your PP paste runs come to die. I have a favorite phrase I use to describe this segment that I am very consciously not using right now.
Che tu non mi nasconda nessuno dei tuoi poteri.
D'accordo, per anni non ho fatto che fuggire da loro. Combatterli è più divertente.
So we have 3 introductory waves. I do this differently than world record holder Tsukuyomi does it. I wait for the first 2 waves to spawn in and the countdown timer for the 3rd one to come on screen, and then I shoot off the singularity. It should clear the arena. That was a little early, but it should still clear the arena, I think. One guy left.
Pensi che tutti siano contro di te.
That wasn't terrible.
Ti guardi intorno, potresti trovare degli amici. In questo esercizio vorrei che iniziassi.
Hey, fast takeover. Nice. This is Turret Whisperer. You have to take over 3 turrets. The first one is always in the same place. The second and the third, it's not that they could be anywhere. There are, set points where they could spawn in. I like to return to the middle of the arena when they're about to spawn in to try to get a favorable spawn, and this is definitely a favorable spawn. And another fast takeover. I have no idea how to do that. Sometimes it just happens. Wait, what? Why are we... Am I completely losing my mind here? I thought there were only 3. That was 4, wasn't it? Either way, those were all good spawns. The one place you don't want the turrets to spawn where they can spawn is, like, right there. A, because it's way out of the way, and B, because you can accidentally drain that while you're trying to override the turret. Both things are done by pressing the touchpad. Alright, so now we have to hang 10 and survive 10 enemy waves. The waves will always spawn more or less the direction you're looking. Maybe off to the side a little, but they won't be behind you. And that guy's still alive.
Alzerò l'asticella se non ti spiace.
Would you die, please, sir?
Ti serve una sfida più impegnativa.
So you'll notice I earn another singularity there. I actually will use it in just a moment. World record holder Tsukuyomi, he never uses any singularities in this mission, which probably means his way of doing it is faster, but I feel like my way of doing it is more consistent. At least for me. So wave 5, I'll shoot off the singularity. Particularly since the waves spawned really close to each other, I know this is going to clear the arena. And... okay, I don't want this near the turret.
Quando ti abbiamo prelevato, ho imbavagliato la stanza Chi ti ho cancellato
The turret's actually going to be my friend here.
E sai perché? Perché ho intravisto del potenziale.
Sono qui solo per i miei poteri. Mi fanno sentire di nuovo male.
So you want to take advantage of
Vuoi sfogare la colla?
combatti.
Allora falla
I want to take advantage of the turret being here and of wave spawns happening more or less right in front of you. If you get lucky with the spawns and with how long it takes the turret to take them out, you can get the turret to take out 3 entire waves for you. It's really nice when that happens. I don't think we're going to have that this time. Yeah, it's about to blow up. Oh, but it did take those guys out with it, so that's nice. It took out 2 and change waves. This is the Bishop. All the DUP enemies are named after chess pieces. The Bishop is a painful enemy to have to face. He's the one who conjures concrete around your ankles, which is not terribly debilitating, but it sure is annoying. Okay, this is how you lose all your time in a beta, when the enemies scatter like this. Wave 10. There's the big guy, if you want to call it a boss of this little challenge. Okay, that's really bad. This has been one of the absolute worst betas I can easily remember. But he's the reason why I get the rapid fire upgrade before beta. I used to get it after, because using it on him is really nice. A little bit more force menuing here. You don't want to mash too fast through this force menuing. You can actually soft lock the game if you do. I've done it. Not in a run, thankfully.
Ottimo, Miss Walker. Stai andando benissimo. Mettiamoci all'opera. Siediti. Mi dicevi che Shane ti ha tradito.
Con gli aculani fuori dai giochi, il nuovo obiettivo di Shane era il capo della polizia, nella speranza di costringerlo a scendere a patti. La sua promessa era che se l'avessi aiutato, se avessi obbedito ai suoi ordini, avrebbe liberato Brent. Stava mentendo, e il DUP non mi dava tregua.
There you see double air dash. It really does help with the traversal. I went too far in front of that lumen. I never do that. It doesn't matter. I'm basically done upgrading anyway after I get that.
Il DUP sta rastrellando i miei in giro per la città. Se continua così, il mio esercito sarà ridotto all'osso. Tu non vuoi che io richiami la
So you
squadra?
see we have a singularity available. We definitely need one coming out of beta. You'll see why in a moment.
Giri al DUP.
Abbassa la cresta, ragazzina! Quei tizi mi stanno
But I definitely differ from Tsukuyomi in using actually 2 in the previous mission.
Il caos nel complesso per attirare qualche DUP e avere più margine di manovra.
Ok, ma non dimenticare i miei ragazzi.
Oh, yeah, and I'm bad at remembering precisely where the markers are, too.
Oggi vengo io a bussare a casa vostra. Vediamo se vi piace.
Yeah, if you see the notes that he wrote up for this run, he's like, don't use your singularity in beta, you'll need it after.
Ok.
So there's 3 cages we have to open. Open the first 2 right away.
Cari tirapiedi, siete liberi.
That brings in more enemies.
Merda, sono sempre più grossi.
Shoot off the singularity, and while it's in the air, go down and open the 3rd one. This should clear the area, sometimes it doesn't. And it did that time, so that's good. Definitely some frame rate stutters there. Tex anno, that's a joke from English that really doesn't translate to Italian that well.
Brent, dove ti ha portato?
Non lo so, ma non pensare a me. Lascia la città prima di che
Our next mission is at the Science Center, which is clear across the map.
Assegni ostacoli. Avrai solo un pezzo di premio.
I don't know why I'm collecting those. I'm not going to get any more upgrades.
Mi dispiace, ma lo conosco. Finché sa di poterti usare, non lo lascerà mai andare.
It's just a little Easter egg from the developers, and if you have the game, I would encourage checking it out.
Costava un occhio, spero. In effetti sì, sono gioiellini da $90.000 l'uno e ce n'è un altro tra la spruce e la terza.
Helps to know exactly where the drone is going to spawn in. And I missed the
Ok, a quanto pare la polizia
cloud there, which is
muove più velocemente,
silly.
quindi raggiungerlo non sarà una passeggiata.
Anch'io sono veloce. È la mia
Alright, so we're supposed to be finding a third drone here, but this isn't a drone. It's a helicopter. This is another reason why we have rapid fire.
un elicottero. Ma davvero? Non sapevi che era un elicottero?
Mi spiace, da qui non si vede, sembrava...
Let me get out of dodge for just a moment so I can heal. There we go. The number of DUP enemies you fight here is RNG. Could be 2, could be 3, could be 4. 3 is most common, and where is the third one? Yeah, next time I run this against splits, this is guaranteed. What the hell? Yeah. Where is he? Oh man, I have never been memed this bad. They usually stay on the... He's still not dead. They usually stay on the rooftops. Wow, that was the worst that could possibly go. But as I was saying, the next time I run this against splits, that segment is guaranteed to be a large time loss. Because in my PB, it was a 2 DUP fight, and it was an instantaneous 2 DUP fight. It was an unbeatable gold split.
Attivando le altre posizioni dei droni.
Next mission takes place at the extreme south of the map, which you kind of just have to know where that. So here Jenny is giving us the coordinates of shipping boxes scattered throughout the town where Brent may or may not be located.
Shane ha la fissa degli aggiornamenti via telefono. I suoi devono fare rapporto ogni pochi minuti. Non perdere tempo.
Se mi scordono, Shane si chiederà come ho saputo dei container.
You get a time bonus every time you pass through a neon cloud, but as you may notice, you don't actually need to pass through a cloud to get it. You just need the effect of passing through a cloud.
Dirò quando mi offrirai un drink su una spiaggia molto lontana da qui.
Ci sto. Jenny, perché tante porte non mi lasciano un attimo di respiro?
I've just messed around at times trying to see how high I can get the timer here, and I've gotten it to over 4 minutes just from messing around
Ti prego, Brand.
with
Il prossimo container.
dashes like that. If anyone surrenders here, you still need to kill them. We will find out why shortly.
Qui non c'è nessuno.
E allora prova con il prossimo, vai!
This run is the most stressful. I have actually failed this run once. I say run meaning run to each container. It's not the longest distance or the shortest time, but it's the longest distance against the shortest time. So you have the most ground to cover with the least margin for error. Kind of playing it safe here with these repeated dashes to give myself more of a time bonus. Even if they weren't really that necessary.
Ma che succede, Jenny? Qui non c'è nessuno. Non lo so, ma ne manca solo uno.
So this one you have much less time to get to it, but it's also much closer. Those smoke bombs are a little silly. They're scripted to fall right in front of you, because the game thinks you'll be around cops the entire time you're running. Even if you're nowhere near the cops, who are ostensibly the ones dropping those smoke bombs, they still appear right in front of you. You could be running on the monorail tracks, and they would still be right in front of you. So that singularity that we got from killing the last enemy there, that is why we had to kill all of the enemies. And actually, if you get a 2 DUP fight at the end of Surveillance Blackout, you're one short here, and you have to get one in the next mission, which isn't that hard. It's definitely faster still to get a 2 DUP fight in Surveillance Blackout and have to get an extra kill here than have 3 enemies in that fight and potentially have them scatter. Yeah, one of Fetch's lines there, you don't really catch it unless you speak Italian, but in English, they can make her say, "Put Jenny on the phone," while we're looking at Jenny's dead body. It's a little bit narmy. So this here is the load warp that I'm doing in SSD that is definitely not faster in hard drive. We don't get the autosave until Shane's phone call finishes. If we could do it before Shane's phone call finished, it would definitely be faster. You see, this is where it puts us. It's certainly possible just to run, and since you can, of course, start running immediately after completing the previous mission, you know, you can start your journey just that much faster. We haven't conclusively proven if this is faster on SSD, but I feel pretty safe in saying it's not slower. And again, it's more consistent. So Shane is trying to introduce himself to the chief of police here, and he's tasking us with drawing the cops that are guarding the chief away from him by causing destruction in the city. That's what... Oh, why didn't that... Oh, that's not great. I was about to say that's what that bar at the top of the screen is for, but it didn't show up, which is weird. There it is. I should have gotten a little bit just from Comet dropping off the roof, though. That's a little weird. It's possible to fill up the destruction bar just from your singularity if you... Hello, car. That was fun. If you place it perfectly, but 99 times out of 100, I have had to blow up a few extra cars to fill it up. Hello? So now with the cops drawn away, Shane has gone in to make threats to the police chief, and now the cops and DUP soldiers are coming back to him, and we have to not let that happen. That's a warning for inbound snipers, but the sniper doesn't actually show up until well after the on-screen warning. It's not until after you kill the previous wave down below that he spawns in. Bit of a guide, dang it. Okay. We try not to use focus shot here either. But if even one enemy gets through... Shane is telling us that he's keeping Brent in a building not far from here. Spoilers, he's lying. This is the building. I like to physically abuse the soda machines when I get in here, because there's not really anything else to do.
Gas tossico! Che bastardo!
Tu che avresti fatto? Ucciderti con una pistola sembra un'impresa impossibile.
There's no particular reason to run around like this here. I just do it because I split when I lose control of Fetch. You can actually clip out of bounds here and get out of this little tunnel, but it's useless. You can't advance the story that way. There are several known out of bounds for this game, but none of them are helpful for a speedrun. So there's another cutscene skip.
Shane aveva Brent. L'unico modo per salvarlo era trovare un accordo.
Mi spiegheresti come hai fatto a uscire da quella galleria? Hai ottenuto un altro potere da quella allucinazione?
Ok, sì, te l'ho tenuto nascosto. Di nuovo. Ok, te lo mostro.
Here's the last major power we get in the story. Rockets! You know what, I'm gonna get... Oh, come on, where is it? That, just because I can.
Funziona. Mi sento bene. Dammi un avversario più forte.
Come vuoi, Miss Walker. Segui le linee gialle e resta al centro del corridoio. Sembri tormentata da diversi demoni. È il momento di affrontarli.
This is Gamma Arena. This one is by far the easiest. We just have to kill 20 demons. These demons here are invulnerable to normal bolts. You have to either hit them with a stasis blast and then bolt them, hit them with rockets, hit them with a melee finisher, which is an upgrade I no longer get in the run, or just punch them. But regular bolts won't do the trick. Oh, that's kinda bad. He spawned some spiders. Another instance of rapid fire coming in handy there. That's a little better to get rid of the spawner. What did I hit that for?
La collera è uno strumento con cui controllare la realtà circostante. Siamo complici, il mondo è ai nostri piedi.
The spawner is really the only enemy where you do want to dilate time against him, because you kill him by taking out the 2 orbs that orbit him, appropriately enough, and that's all Gamma is. Although I have, on rare occasions, had an 11th wave spawn in. I have no idea how it happens.
Vedo che ti stai divertendo. Asseconda questa sensazione e libera il tuo potenziale.
There's no force menuing after Gamma. You can just hit the X button and continue onward.
Hai visto? Sei brava quando vuoi. C'è un futuro per i conduit capaci di lasciarsi il passato alle spalle. Ora dimmi come va a finire la tua storia.
Shane mi voleva morta. Mi restava un'unica opzione, passare al contrattacco. Purtroppo non sapevo dove fosse lui, o tantomeno mio fratello.
È morto. Me lo auguro. Spariamole qualche altro colpo. Così, per stare tranquilli.
Dov'è Brent?
Those guys always die in one hit.
Dovranno pur parlarsi in qualche modo. No, un auricolare. E della mia misura.
Convoglio 3.
So we're tapped into the communications of the drug trucks that Shane has circulating around the city. First one's always stopped in the same place, and this does have to be the first one, by the way. You may have noticed when we hit the video dish that we could see all of them, but if we don't go after this one first, we get a mission failure, and we just have to come back and do this one first. You'll notice the... well, it's actually not there. You may have noticed a sniper... There it is, a sniper sight trained on my back. You don't have to take that enemy out for this area to be considered cleared. And one stasis blast destroys all of Shane's merchandise in the back of his truck. This is another strat that the world record holder does not do. Loading autosaves here. What this does is give us back our singularity, our rockets. It also resets the positions of the trucks. It would give us back melee finishers if we had them, any of the stuff. World record holder, he just runs straight to each truck and kills it. He knows exactly where they are. It's sorcery as far as I'm concerned. Okay. This time, if anyone surrenders, you can just let them be. Now, if this worked right, the next truck should be literally on top of us. Well, I guess not literally on top of us, but very, very close to us right now. And it's not close enough. Oh, there it is. Frequently, it's close enough that you can just ping and it will already be on the street you are. And perhaps even the enemies will already be shooting you. And if you time a rocket blast just right, you can destroy all of the drugs in the back of the truck. There's the next truck. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I had a stasis blast, not a rocket blast. But we did alright. This one has a DUP ambush. This is what we have the singularity for. World record holder doesn't even use the singularity here. He has a lot of practice in that. Well, hello. Why are you guys over here? This has never happened. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, world record holder Tsukuyomi has thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in this game. I prefer to be more of a variety speedrunner myself. Fourth truck destroyed. We load the autosave again. This is just to get our rockets and singularity back, because the fifth truck will always be pretty far away from the spawn-in point. Yeah, you can see how small it looks there. from a non-specific place in real life, so I have a very hard time doing it in a video game. That's why I just open the map and drop the dot for the location of the final truck. Because that's faster for me than, you know, searching the city for it. Of course, it would be faster if you could get away with not doing that. So we come in, we drop our singularity. This will not kill everyone. And even if it did, Shane's soldiers are calling in additional reinforcements. And I always get a kick out of this. Got some graffiti going on. On the wall behind the truck. The prompt would read in English to tag the truck. Tag the truck. Tell me, how the hell is that how the heck is that tagging the truck? Sorry. How is that tagging the truck? That's tagging the wall. I'm not going the right way. I'm completely not going the right way. Okay, I wasn't that far from it. So we go in here. Shane gives us the hot shot. What we actually want to do here is increase the difficulty to expert. Everything in here works the same as it normally does, even though you have no HUD. You can shoot off singularities, even earn singularities. You know, use melee finishers, stasis blasts, anything you may have. So I turn up the difficulty so they will kill me faster here. Strangely enough. If they kill me at this point, it should be fine. Yeah, it's fine. So they can go ahead and kill me now. Please, please kill me. On easy, it can sometimes take a long, long time for them to kill you here. And this is surprisingly a long, long time. Yeah. It is possible to die too soon there. That's what happened to me in my run for the GDQ people. Twice, in fact. You can also just keep fighting, and eventually, even if the enemies don't overwhelm you, the game will simply advance you to this point, but obviously we can't waste that much time in a speedrun. So we're kind of running through Fetch's fractured memories here, along with the influence of the drugs Shane forcibly injected into her.
figlia.
Ero solo una bambina.
Non piangere, il Dio qui troverà una soluzione. Lei ce l'ha promesso.
Lei dov'è? Brecci, scappa! Dai, dobbiamo andarci!
Nessuno mi porterà via.
If these neon phantoms running towards us seem to have a familiar shape, there is a reason for that.
Non puoi prendere le cose degli altri.
If we were on Twitch, I'd say prep your Bible thumps. I don't know what the equivalent for this site is, but yep, Brent's dead. But actually, we don't get to watch that cutscene anymore. We can skip it. This was the last of the cutscene skips to be found, because it's as I explained earlier that you get the autosave at the beginning of the second cutscene when there's 2 in a row but not 3 in a row. This is the only case of there being 2 in a row where one of them is the full motion capture cutscene and not the comic book style cutscene. Previously, we thought that being the comic book style cutscene was what enabled the skip, and it's not.
È lì che ti abbiamo trovato? Era stato Shane a prendere Brent. È colpa sua se alla fine hai perso il controllo. Se tu potessi, lo uccideresti.
If you could, would you kill him? And look who's here.
Allora fallo.
Fammi un favore, piccolo. Potresti dire a questa bambola che sono un uomo assolutamente normale.
Conosco la tua storia,
Parola di scout.
ma dovevi ripercorrerla per tornare al momento in cui ti sei arresa.
Maledizione, non sono uno di quei vostri.
Well, do you want me to finish?
Tango 1, ho il bersaglio. Detenuto si dirige a ovest sulla 102 con un APC-13. Suggerisco posto di blocco. Passo.
Giù le mani, pezzi di merda. È mio.
Ok.
Il metallo è entrato in profondità. Dovrò prenderla con calma.
So we have no power here, so we can only run slowly. keep a high camera angle there, it can help you climb the ladder faster.
Ma nessuna traccia di Wolf. Ricevuto. Abbiamo inviato i droni a cercarla. Ma fate attenzione in strada. Con questa tempesta abbiamo difficoltà a tenerli in volo. Ricevuto.
That one's easier since the ladder's shorter. If you walk to that F marker, you get a brief cutscene of the bridge collapsing beneath your feet, but you can just jump off and it has the same effect. There's two rare glitches that can happen here. We already avoided the first one, which is the drone not crashing. The other one is you drain it, and the game doesn't think you actually did drain it. And you have no choice but to get a game over screen and drain the drone again. But we avoided that one too, which is good. That's the unleashed singularity you get at this point in the game. It's really useless for the story. It's the only time you would use one, but you can use it in the arena challenges on the same save file after completing the story. And there are about a dozen other powers that also unlock only after you've completed the story. You can actually get up where those tanks are driving. It's out of bounds. You can crawl all over the mountain, skip loading triggers. It is sadly useless. You cannot trigger in the ending of the game by doing that. I did some pretty exhaustive testing with it, and was able to get all the way to the end of the mountain, thus revealing that the things like Shane's footprints are actually pre-rendered. But you can't spawn in the end of the game, and it would be nice if you could, because there's a couple of little cutscenes coming up. Also, these rocks don't have collision. If you skip the loading trigger that makes those rocks fall in, there'll be an invisible wall here with the exact same opening in it. Like, this cutscene alone is over 30 seconds. If we could skip this and still spawn in the end of the game, that would be awesome, but we haven't been able to get that to happen.
Sorry.
The on-screen prompts tell you to defeat the DUP. I've never fought anything in this final segment. Even in my casual first playthrough, I just ran past all of it. World. Even though you're not actually supposed to have, you know, direct free movement control of fetch in this area at all. Rentemoto.
Non l'ho ucciso. Sei stato tu.
And that would have been time right there. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry if anyone was offended by anything I said. If I'm still welcome to do my other run, I will try a lot harder to not say bad words.
Not perfect, but we're only human.
Il bersaglio civile è stato giustiziato.